I don't like the new Omegals, bro. In the old original one, you could like put in like an interest before you went and started meeting people, and that allowed you to actually like get to know people a little better on a common thing. Like if you put in like a city, it would give you all like local people, which was way better. And now you can't even get down these fucking new ones. That's why I don't fucking like it. It just puts you fucking anywhere. God, I'm so fucking. Fuck, man. Such a bad time to fucking go live, to be honest. Damn it, man. What the fuck am I gonna do here? Continue with. I'm not getting like any. Oh my god, man. What the fuck? What the fuck am I doing? I need to do something like this weekend. Bad, like pronto. Maybe Friday night. Oh my god. Damn it, dude. Fuck, it's like a fucking addiction. God damn. Of course, my fucking. I don't really have any consistent fucking viewers at all. So I think people just got bored of me. I don't have the charisma to maintain an audience, I guess, or whatever the fuck. I've never had really charisma. I've had just like I don't know what you would call it, like cutting something that cuts, sharp, coarse. I don't know, but I don't have the. I don't. People like people who have a little bit of softness to them. In other words, their personalities or their spiritual essence is that like vaginal. Everyone likes vaginas. Everyone likes to be in one because that's where you were made. You were made in a womb. That's where your body was, where home was, where you felt safe within your mother, right? It's completely different with men. And I feel like I have a lot of yang energy because my dad once commented on it. If your dad says you have a lot of yang energy, that means you do, for real. My own father, who is like the masculine half of my two people that are the blueprints to how I interact with men and women, the male half said I was very masculine. And that's kind of saying something. If your dad says you're too masculine, he said, I'll never forget it. I was in the kitchen just making food, and he was like laying on the couch, and my dad just says out of the blue, like, "Do you ever feel like you have a little too much, like yang energy?" And I was like, "What?" I didn't know what he meant at the time when he said it, but now I do. He meant to say that I was too masculine. And I don't know, man. I think my personality just rubs people the wrong way because it's like a dick. You don't really want to be in a room with a dick and balls. You want to be in a room with a vagina. And I think my personality just is more dickish than vagina ish. You know, whenever I go out in public, I always wonder to myself, what is it that other people have that I don't? And they just have the ability to let other people inside of them in a way. They let other people impose themselves. That's how people like you, you know? Men like women because there's a lot of softness to them, and you can impose yourself within them, you know. And men and women, when it comes to their personalities, the more feminine a man is, the more likable he is. I think that's true. I think that is a true thing. The more effeminate a guy is, the more likable he is, the more magnetic and charismatic he is. And you can see it in a lot of examples with people. You can even look at like with celebrities or like musicians. They tend to lean more on the feminine side of things, usually the more emotional, sensitive, empathetic side of things. When you look back at these guys, like from the 20th century, the musicians, they all were wearing, well, they were all, presenting themselves as kind of feminine. Like Prince, he would wear like blouses and shit like that. He would look very girly, which is a little ironic considering he was a little homophobic. For a guy that would have no muscle mass and like wear makeup. He wasn't feeling the homosexuals, but he still had that feminine energy. Michael Jackson did. Kurt Cobain did. The dude from Queen was very feminine. Fucking what was his name? Freddie Mercury. Robert Plant. He had no muscle mass, long hair. All these guys, even back in like the earliest of the century to like the Beatles and all that, all these guys to modern day, even rappers in the modern age, they all have feminine aura. All of them do. And that is what makes them charismatic. That's what I think. That's what I really think. I think in order to be more likable as a person, you have to have that feminine energy. And I think with me, I lack a lot of feminine energy. Like with masculinity, it's like logic and passion. So instead of internalizing your emotions, you externalize them through passion or ego. And you think a lot. Instead of living and wallowing in your emotions, you transmute them into anger, or you think around them. And I tend to do that. So the elements for yin and yang would be like water and earth for women. The raw practicality of the earth along with the flowing emotions and the chaos of water or amniotic fluid like water, as in opposition to fire, the seed of life, passion, desire, along with air, which is again the airy logic, cerebralness, abstractions. That's all guys. So fire and air are men, and water and earth are women. And I think I have a lot of fire and air in me. And I think it just fucking burns the shit out of people. Because for yang, masculine, positivity, it's very dominating. That energy is very dominating. It's domineering. It likes to dominate, basically, in mind and body. And people don't like to be dominated. That's just the way it is. People don't like to have a dick shoved in their fucking face or ass or whatever the fuck. They like to insert themselves in something and feel like you have to give people something. You can't just take. And ultimately, a penis takes, whereas a vagina gives. It's same thing with personality. It's same thing with aura or your soul or your spirit, whatever. It has that dualistic approach, that dynamic. So I think that is the reason why people tend to be turned off by me. It's because I impose myself a lot. I very rarely wallow in my emotions. I tend to just overthink or I tend to get angry. Nothing else. I don't do drugs. Usually, when you are wallowing in your emotions, drug usage goes hand in hand with that because you can't take it. You can't control or get over your emotions, so you sink and drown in them. And in order to cope with it, you do drugs or you get inside these dreams, and you know, drugs help with that. It helps you not to think. It kind of destroys your brain, but you feel things more. You become more psychic. And that's why a lot of people say that women are more psychic than men. They just kind of understand things sometimes or intuit things through their emotions more than men can because, again, men burn their emotions away through fire rather than water. But yeah, it's not something I have. It's been something I've had to deal with since I was a little child. I remember distinctly every corner of my life at since I was a kid to adolescence to young adulthood to now, I've had to deal with the same problems with other people, and it was just communication. Apparently, I'm not good at communicating. People say I have a very therapeutic voice, and they say the things I say are very corrosive or brash or tactless, but I have a very logical, kind of cold approach to things, which again is that masculine yang dimension that I live in. So, again, in order to be a likable person, it's like crafting illusions. You know, it's just like a mother that coddles you when you are talking to someone. Or, like, how would your mother versus your father talk to you in general, in the most ideal sense? The mom would lie to you to make you feel good, and then your dad would tell you the truth and be honest with you. And it's brutal and you don't like it at first, but in the long run, it's good for you. It's the opposite for your mother and women when they lie to you to make you feel good now, but then you suffer the consequences later. Just like coddling. Coddling a person makes them soft and weaker and unprepared for life. Whereas a dad is more disciplinary, and him telling you the truth and being honest is what will make you tougher and stronger and more adept to the vicissitudes of life or the vacillations. So it's one of those things where you're not going to be liked, but people are better off with you because you tell it like it is, and it makes people ascend. That's what the word, I don't like using that word because it's been co opted by a bunch of fucking freaks with the looks maxing shit. But in terms of what men do for society and other people, or fathers do, they make you a better person overall. Whereas if you live with just a mom, you don't get that sort of critical feedback. You know, I feel like I give a lot of critical feedback and it turns people off and they end up not liking me. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's what they need, possibly. I don't know. But, you know, that's just the way life is. You can't always be soft and accommodating to other people. I'm always thinking about that, how some people who are more effeminate tend to, well, maybe not effeminate. Maybe let's move away from the gendered spiritual side of things and let's talk more about power, because I feel like powerful people, when they are benevolent, try to lift everyone up to a better level, as opposed to people who are miserable and they want to drag other people down to their level. It's one of those things where it's two sides of a coin. You have one side that wants everyone to be at their highest potential, but in order to be at your highest potential, you kind of have to go through a lot of hell to achieve that. A lot of discipline. You have to basically force yourself to do the things that you don't want to do almost every single day for the remainder of your life, as opposed to people who are more hedonistic and people who do the bare minimum, who just kind of want to stay average and they want to be below. Maybe not even average. Maybe they want to just be wallowing in self-pity, you know? So you can either be in the underworld with the chthonic, demonic, odd, strange, nocturnal people that do lots of drugs and drink lots of alcohol and have lots of meaningless sex and have diseases and don't think that much. Or you can be on the other side of the good, let's say, and you can be more discerning, more critical, harder on yourself, and all that other shit, and more idealistic. That's how I view things, and usually I tend to go on the side of trying to be the best that I can be. And I think it rubs people the wrong way again, because I think I'm like a fucking egotistical fucking guy. And maybe they're right, but the only thing that keeps me at a good level is reminding myself that I'm a creation of a divine force, and I'm at the whim of forces that I have no control over. And the only thing that I have control over is my destiny, but my fate is in God's hands. And that's the only thing that keeps me at a good level. You know, you can't be too ambitious, or you'll be a freak, or you'll get burned fast. You know, men are servants of God, but they're slaves to their natures. You know, I think it was Saint Augustine that noted when babies would feed on their mother that some babies would be more greedy with the milk to other children, even though there was two breasts that they could share. Before you're even fully conscious, there are human beings that will have those faculties in them to be greedy or even evil, which means that the evil, sinful part of humanity is ingrained in them. So you can be evil even if it is of no profit to you. That's what he came to the conclusion of when he noticed that of infants. And he's right. You can't really know yourself at all Men give themselves a lot of credit these days because they're distracted. They're not as evil as relatively as they were maybe 100 years ago, thousands of years ago, even dating back to ancient Rome when they used to crucify people or create weapons of or tools of torture. You know, the body count for men, we've killed countless, innumerable amounts of human beings throughout history. And we even respect and laud men who have slaughtered and enslaved entire civilizations, like Alexander the Great. But, you know, when you think about these people, you think about these men, they're not really that different from men these days. The only reason why men don't kill as much as they used to is because their attention is on the internet. When a guy is starving to death or he's horny and he has no entertainment, if he's extremely bored, if he's extremely hungry, and he's extremely lustful, his mind will wander into places that he's never known. And then suddenly, now you know more of yourself. Now you've entered your shadow, and you can see the true nature of the depravity of the flesh, which is to say that men are not as good as they think they are. They're just more distracted. So they can rag on these girls all they want, but at the end of the day, if we didn't have all this stuff to fill up our time, you know, there's no telling what kind of men we'd be or what kind of monsters we would be. Because men are, I guess if you look at it through a historical lens, are the more evil half of humanity, and it's just based off of pure numbers game. Women don't really hold a candle to men because they don't have the physicality of men. Men kill way more than women, and they have the capability, they have the creativity, they have the logic, they have the broad minds, and they have the brawn, the strength to, and the will to go through with mass murder. Typically, with women, when they express their evil, they tend to be more emotional. They tend to corrupt people and their emotions. They tend to kill their families. It's localized. You know, they kill their children, they kill their husbands, or they will cheat, they will lie, they'll steal, or they'll go along with an evil plot. But it doesn't really hold a candle to a man whose ego has been hurt and everything around him, every living creature is going to know his name in some way at that point because now he has to prove himself. And when a man feels like he has to prove himself and he has nothing to lose, at that point, you know, all bets are off and everything's free game. So men just take the entire ship down with them, but girls just go crazy in the vicinity, but that's about it. You know, men take out entire civilizations, they take out towns, they take out buildings worth of people. So, off a whim. So, I wouldn't say that men are more good than women. I think that's just a falsehood. I think that's just something that we've told ourselves because in recent times we only have these things to go off of. You know, we see girls acting out with their sexualities or they just bullshit. But lurking in the testicles of every man is a fucking beast waiting to come out. Every man. Put him in isolation. His thoughts are just gonna be all over the fucking place. So the falling testosterone levels in society is not good across the world. Men and women both need a balance of hormones for their bodies to work properly. So they need a balance of estrogen and testosterone. They can't just have an excess of one over the other, or else it fucks up their system. So, if men's testosterone levels are falling and women's testosterone levels are actually falling as well, you're gonna get, a more effeminate society overall. And what does that look like? It looks like hermits. It looks like people who are more anxious, nervous, secluded, and not as daring. Because if you have testosterone, it makes you more daring as a person. So women need that as well so they can be more receptive to men instead of being closed off. And men need that so they can be more, brave and actually talk to women. But instead, we have a society of shy, socially awkward, sexless, weird people now that are abnormal. So it's not really looking good. Every time I seem to go out in public, I see a world of complete mundanity. I see lifeless people, you know? I look in their eyes and I see good people and they're nice and they're normal. But human society is just a way to waste time. You know, you go out to these restaurants and all you do is spend money there And these people who fucking have to work and they're miserable. It's like, I'm not trying to be a bummer, but I mean, what is there to do besides go out and spend money and just wander around? I myself have been attempting to be more active in my daily life. So I've been working out again every single day as much as humanly possible. And I've been talking to people, but I'm trying to find that fire, that passion. Because after a while, the routine starts to be too robotic, too functional, too cold and distant for me. I need something with more randomness, more peculiarity, foreign, strange, something new that I haven't seen before, so that I can be intellectually stimulated. I need that, or I feel like I go crazy. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just all bullshit and I don't know what I'm talking about. Just more overthinking. is never fucking easy, dude. So it has. This is a pain in my ass, dude. Oh my god, the things we do. Okay, take your time. Don't worry. Take your time. I'm gonna get a bowl of cereal. God damn. How long does it take to fucking verify? What? Bro. Well, I guess I should probably go to bed now. Now that I've been stressed the fuck out. This is fucking gay! Come on, man. Bro, I got 3 phones. Okay? I got the fucking classic flip phone. No SIM. I got this and this. This one has a SIM, but I'm not getting any fucking text messages. It's pissing me off. I'm gonna start trying to see if I can get this one up. I'll have to get a new fucking line. I'm about to have 3 fucking numbers on 3 different phones. This one is for my wife, this one's for my girlfriend, and this one's for my mistress. Just fucking kidding. Why the fuck am I not sleeping right now? I knew I wasn't gonna be able to fucking sleep tonight. Why is it not working? Is it because it's late? Do they not have fucking messaging on fucking 1 a.m.? Bro. Bullshit. It's like, yeah, I know you couldn't find fucking make one. Why I gotta fucking type into a fucking number? Couldn't tie it to a fucking email? I think this takes an eSIM. Because I can't find the actual SIM card on this shit. I don't even know where it would go. A physical one. So I think it takes an eSIM. I tried to look up the IMEI number on this fucking thing. But the website was like, we're under maintenance right now. We can't check that. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to get this done. I'm just trying to not lose my mind. That's all I'm trying to do. And you're making me lose my mind faster by not doing what I want. So I'm about to make a third line just to waste more money, I guess. Just so I can use this. People are gonna look at me like I'm a fucking drug dealer with all these fucking phones, bro. Come on, man. I'm gonna just try tomorrow morning because it's not working tonight. I'm gonna have to, if it doesn't work again tomorrow morning with that number, I'm gonna make another number. I'm not gonna tell you guys what I'm doing because it's embarrassing. Actually, I don't give a fuck. Actually, I do give a fuck. I don't even know who the fucking people are. So. So if that number doesn't work tomorrow on that phone, I'm gonna have to make another number, new line on this phone. See if the IMEI works. Then get a text message there. And we'll go from there. It worked last time. So we'll see if it works again this time. gonna go put this on the fucking charger. I'm going to bed. Fucking battery life. Bro, these bitches are so fucking busted. It's unreal. It pisses me off. Oh my god. It makes me angry. It makes me upset to see this. It's trash. Gross. Gross. Cool. Gross. I'm good on that one. That one's not bad. Alright, fuck you guys. Bye. Good night.